What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Cam ATL, and welcome back to another video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section and enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. Appreciate y'all for joining me as always, man. Happy Monday. Hopefully everybody had an amazing weekend. If you're using propsmadeeasy.com at only $20 a month, by the way, you are up crazy units this weekend. It has been a fantastic weekend once again. Yeah, I mean, just I can't say it enough. Props Made Easy is only $20 a month, and there is not a single tool in this entire industry that matches the amount of data you get here, as well as having the filters and just the ability to find the best plays the way that this does at only $20 a month. It's just a no-brainer. That is why we're over 18,000 active members in under a year and a half. Okay, so make sure you join up if you haven't already, and make sure you follow the PME rulebook that we have created. Now, we'll go back over what that is here in a second to make sure everybody is following this over the course of April, okay, at least. And now if you can stretch it longer, great. But do it over the month of April and you can see how much profit you make, okay? And you can understand, okay, long term, this is definitely the right way to go. You know what I mean? So the winner of last week's $50 giveaway is going to be Ray Huncho 95. Ray Huncho 95 for the $50 giveaway from last week. The $50 giveaway we did for Saturday is official 1K cruise. All right, both of you guys hit me up on Twitter at Cam_ATL, and I'll get you guys that money sent over to you. Appreciate everybody for watching as always. Excited to have another fantastic week. And as always, once again, we're going to use the PME rulebook, the Props Made Easy rulebook. What is that? The absolute most profitable way that you can bet on sports in general, okay? Why is that? Because number one, you're playing plays that are 5% or higher EV. Okay, the best way to do this is to get the Props Made Easy tool at only $20 a month. Then every bet you make, now first off too, if you just have DFS books, then you're selling yourself a little bit short because you're forcing yourself to have to make multiple legs to be able to put a slip in. Whereas if you use any of the regular sports books like FanDuel, DraftKings, Fluff, Novig, all of these different sites that you can use where you can do straight bets, you will have the most success. Now, we're straight betting plays that are over 5% EV, sorry, have over 30 books at least minimum baked into the consensus odds. That way we know we have a solid sample. We don't just have one or two sports books swaying the odds too much. We have a solid sample, okay? That is the key, okay? Now, when it comes to prize picks, if you're on a DFS books, if you're in a state where you can't straight bet on the regular books, okay? If you can't take a play like this Zach LaVine under 3.5 assists at minus 136 on Bet Rivers, okay? Or you can't take Tyler Harrow under 30.5 points assists at minus 100 on Novig straight bet. If you can't do any of those type of amazing EV plays, then you need to put the most amazing plays you can for those DFS sites, okay? So for example, if I just do the DFS books, let's say you're just on DFS books, okay? I have just DFS books selected right now. You will see that Alec Burks has a huge EV. Now, what's the issue with here, though? There's only 19 books built into this. So we don't even care. We're going to ignore this one. Cade Cunningham under 5.5 rebounds is a 6.97 EV with a minus 138 consensus. 47 books are built into creating this 6.97 EV, which you can already see PME members are liking that play. Cade Cunningham under 5.5, and somebody else liked it at the same time I did. Cade Cunningham under 5.5 rebounds has 47 books built into the under at 6.97 EV. All right. Lonnie Walker over 12.5 points on underdog is a 6.93. 39 books are built into the over 6.93 EV percent on the 12.5 points. Tim Hardaway Jr. under 17.5 PRA, 6.46. 31 books built into the 6.46. So again, if you're only on a site that can do DFS, then you need to pair two plays. Don't do any more than two legs, okay? Try to keep it as close to a straight bet as you can. Put two plays together in each of your slips that are over 5% EV and have 30 or more consensus books built into that EV, okay? All right. With that being said, some other great options when it comes to prize picks, which is what I've noticed most people utilize. real quick, and then we'll look at the absolute best EV that we have available for our straight bets and for us to go up as many possible units as we can today. Cade Cunningham under 5.5 rebounds, we've already talked about, is a fantastic option. You can pair Cade with Lonnie Walker over 12.5 points at a 5.68 EV. 39 books are built into that 5.68 over EV at 12.5. Okay, so great little pairing there for Prize Picks. Okay, now when it comes to the absolute best NBA options that we have, Zach LaVine under 3.5 assists. Real quick, let me refresh, and then we'll look at overall books real quick. All right, because I was yapping for about 5 minutes before we got into this. By the way, make sure you put your favorite two-man down in the comments section and enter your name into free access to Props Made Easy for a month if you end up being the one chosen. All right, so let's select all. We got all books chosen. Tyler Herro over 11.5 rebounds assists. You can grab it plus 100 odds on ESPN Bet, making him the best EV when it comes to the regular books that you can straight bet over on ESPN Bet. Plus 100 on the over 11.5 rebounds assists. His over 11.5 rebounds assists is at minus 123 out of 30 books. That is what we're looking for, at least 30. Okay? At least 30 on the over 11.5 rebounds assists at plus 100 on ESPN Bet. Now again, does this mean we want Tyler Herro over 11.5 rebounds assists at minus 120? No, because minus 120 is super close to this. Plus 100 gives us that 10.62 EV. If this was minus 120, then the EV would be like a 1, a 2. It would be barely anything. Okay? The reason this EV is where we want it to be is because of the difference between where the odds are that we're getting it on ESPN Bet compared to where it is out of the 30 books that are showing you here. Zach LaVine under 3.5 assists, minus 136 odds on Bet Rivers, 9.43 EV off of 63 books on the under 3.5 assists for Zach LaVine. This is the ideal spot that we're looking for. Straight bet Zach LaVine under 3.5 assists. And if you can get it near the minus 136, I'm talking minus 140, maybe minus 145, I would take it. But not anything higher than that. You don't want it at minus 160 because then the EV wouldn't be this. And again, no need to say, oh, this is a great play on Bet Rivers. I'm going to go play it on DraftKings. If it was a good play on DraftKings, then DraftKings would be here. You would see DraftKings. By the way, just put the books that you're playing. Just select the books that you are playing right here so you only see those, okay? Sabonis under 12.5 rebounds is minus 106 odds, 8.53 EV percent. 61 books are baked into the under 12.5 rebounds, making it an 8.53 EV percent. So amazing option there. It's over the 5% EV we're looking for. And again, straight bet it. Okay? Straight bet it. Sabonis under 12.5 rebounds. Straight bet. Go a unit. We're moving people up from 1 unit, the $1 units to $5 units, all the way up to $100 units eventually. So follow this game plan, follow this rule book, and you will continue to have success. And why is this rule book, why is this strategy so successful? Because every box is checked. Okay? Every box is checked. Not only is it over 5% EV, but you're making sure the sample of consensus odds making it that EV are a good, solid, consistent sample. Okay, so you have a big sample, and it was just a fantastic spot, man. I'm telling you, if you follow this strategy, it's that simple. Props Made Easy is only $20 a month. You're barely spending any of your money, any of your bankroll per month. You're spending like almost 50 cents a day on the tool you're using. So you're not spending barely anything on the actual tool that's showing you the best plays. You're able to put most of your bankroll into your actual straight bets that you're placing to have the most success and make the most profit. There is no way to justify paying $50 or more for a tool. There's no way to justify it because these tools don't even have projection data. These tools don't even show you the actual number right here to make it super easy for you for how many consensus books are built into it. Props Made Easy does that for you, and it's $20 a month. That's why Props Made Easy was built in the first place. Well, number one, we saw that most tools aren't affordable for regular players, so we built one that was. We also noticed that most tools don't have any type of projection data. Let's create a simulation projection data with our big partners in the industry and be able to provide that, something that's extra that can check just an extra box for each player. So to become a pro in this industry is really incredibly easy. And for only $20 a month, it's a no-brainer. Asor Thompson, under 2.5 assists at minus 120 on Bet365. 7.39 EV percent. 44 books built into that EV on the under 2.5 assists there. Amazing option. Lonnie Walker, over 12.5 points. You can grab at minus 115 on Fanatics. 7.27 EV. Minus 134 out of 36 books taken into this. So some amazing NBA plays on the board right now. Let's go ahead and switch over to MLB. And then we're going to make sure that all books are selected. Select all. Okay. At the top of the list, we have an absolutely fantastic option over on Profit X at minus 110 odds. Dustin May, over 4.5 strikeouts, is an 8.38 EV. Straight bet this play. Over 4.5 assists. This is the epitome of what we take. You have over the 5% EV at an 8.38. You have 53 books. Sorry, y'all. 53 books built into this consensus odds, making it minus 131 at minus 110. Again, the tool will tell you where to take it. Don't take it on a book that's not what it's telling you. Okay? Go look at the books that you have available to you. Don't just play this wherever it is. Like, for example, I keep reiterating this. It's because sometimes in this industry, a lot of people make this mistake, right? So Dustin May's over 4.5 strikeouts at minus 110 odds on Profit X is an amazing EV. But if on another sports book, Dustin May's odds for his over 4.5 strikeouts is minus 130, this EV would be nothing. It wouldn't be in play. So make sure you're playing it where it says, okay? Make sure your book that you're playing on is literally selected so you can make sure you're playing the best plays on your book. Don't play this play just because it's high on Profit X, because it doesn't mean it's good where you're playing it. Aaron Judge, over 1.5 bases on Fanatics at minus 110. Aaron Judge has been having a stupid season so far. 7.93 EV, 43 books baked into the over 1.5 bases of a 7.93. Really like the spot here at minus 110 on Fanatics. Ke'Bryan Hayes has everything we need except for the minimum books at 27. So again, we're going to use discipline. We're going to stay only on the rule book, and we're going to understand that, yes, good solid EV, but we're going to fade this one because it's not yet 30 books. We need a minimum of 30 consensus books built in to make sure we have a good sample of data into every single one of the plays that we're taking and putting our money on. Gavin Sheets, over 0.5 bases. Now, there's one issue with this play, and a lot of y'all will know it off the bat. I've talked about the threshold of odds that I like to stay within, just so I can have the maximum return by the end of the month, right? Plays like minus 150, whereas this is a solid EV, and you can still straight bet this play, right? I personally like to stay within plus 150 odds to minus 130. Okay, so this is going slightly out of my range that I like to be, just off profit reasons by the end of the month. But again, if you have a low bankroll, don't even sweat what this is. Take the high EV that checks all of our boxes. So Gavin Sheets, over 0.5 bases. For me, somebody who has already worked my bankroll up and already worked my units up to about $100 a unit, okay, I don't mind fading something like this, just because at the end of the month, that's not going to get me a ton of profit here. Right? So that's why I stay within the threshold I told you about. But for people trying to build bankroll, this is perfectly fine. So honestly, if you're in the bankroll building zone, okay, don't worry too much about this. Okay, you can still play this. Over 0.5 bases at minus 150, straight bet on Fanatics. 34 books built into the 7.75 EV. So great spot for Gavin Sheets. Dustin May's strikeouts. Again, as you can see, Dustin May, over 4.5 strikeouts, is 8.38 here on Profit X. But then you see Dustin May's strikeouts is at 7.01 on No Vig. Why? Because you're getting it at different odds. You're getting it at minus 110 on Profit X, where you're getting it at minus 113 on No Vig. The closer those odds edge to where this consensus is, the lower this EV will go. Now, that doesn't mean this isn't a great play, though. This is still checking every box we need. Over the 5% EV. 53 books built in. So if you don't have Profit X, your best option here is on No Vig at minus 113 straight bet, over 4.5 strikeouts for Dustin May facing Washington. All right. Jonah Heim, another one that's a big favorite. So personally, I wouldn't be taking it just because of that threshold I like to stay within. But people in that bankroll building process, don't worry about this. Don't let that sway you. You just want as many W's as you can to build that bankroll up. All right. So Jonah Heim over 0.5 bases, fantastic option at the 6.7 EV over the 5, over 30 books. We're good to go on the over 0.5 bases, plain and simple. Don't overthink. It's simpler than you think it is. Okay? And as a ton of Props Made Easy members, y'all don't understand how much I love having y'all DMing me and tagging me and posting stuff on X of y'all winning consistently and winning big using this strategy. That is the point. That's it. The more people I can get on this strategy, the more people who will really be making life-changing type of money. I'm talking you will be paying your bills with sports betting, and then what you make of your job will just be icing on the cake. You know what I mean? And again, if you're playing plus EV and you're doing it consistently, you're not changing your process, you are not gambling. You are not gambling. You're playing the best off of the data. Okay, you're going off of the data, which in turn eventually will bring back returns, but you have to consistently stay on it to bring those returns. The difference between a successful gambler, I've said this a million times, and the people who aren't successful is the people who eventually they will lose, and it's that losing moment that they decide whether they're going to stop using the right process, or they're going to change something, or they're going to stay on it. And even though they're going to take L's, they stick with it, and by the end, they end up profitable. That's the main thing. That immediate gratification in people is what ruins them. You want immediate success. If you try this PME process and you don't make profit, you immediately think, oh, it's bullshit. No. There will be times that you lose throughout the course of a month. Stay consistent, and you will be up units every single month following this strategy. Again, over 5% EV and over 30 or more books built into the consensus. Where can you find all this data the best? PropsMadeEasy.com, only $20 a month. It's like almost 50 cents a day. Okay, that's it. So lock in. It's a super, super simple thing to do. All right, if you want to make money. All right, it comes down to that. It depends. You know what I mean? Some people just are stuck in their ways, and no matter how much I can lead them to the money, they will never pick that money up. They will consistently say, oh, it's a setup. Oh, it's not going to work. Oh, it's, oh, this is bullshit, blah, 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 blah. And I understand, because all you really see in this sports betting industry is bullshitters. Cappers, scammers, all types of bullshit. No. Following top EV is what pros do. Plain and simple. Okay? This is how professional bettors make their money. Not a single professional bettor goes off intuition or just gut. No, they're playing the market. Plain and simple. It's that simple. Vince Dunn over on Underdog on NHL. Over 1.5 shots on goal is a 6 EV. 36 books built into this, so fantastic spot on Underdog. You compare this with Mackenzie Weegar, over 0.5 points on Underdog. 5.14 over our 30 threshold, fantastic option. 6 EV over our threshold of 30, perfect little pairing there for those two on Underdog. Jonathan Huberdeau, over 1.5 shots on goal, straight bet at minus 143 odds, 5.53 EV, 47 books built into this. Jonathan over 1.5 shots on goal, fantastic straight bet. And then that's about it for now. Okay, you can refresh to stay updated as the day goes on. Let's make sure everything's selected. Yeah, nothing too crazy on NHL at the moment. Let's look at Game Center and see if any game bets are popping right now. All right. So you guys know I like to look at the main markets, which is going to be money line. Nothing too crazy on money line at the moment. Total points. 2.84 is the highest EV on total points. Team total. Okay, we got some solid options. Now, do we want the 76ers? No, because there's only 12 books built into that consensus. Do we want the Pistons? Absolutely. Pistons over 118.5 team total at minus 105 on Hard Rock. We don't want it on a site where it's minus 110. Why? Because the value would change. Okay? So, yeah. Anyway, Detroit Pistons over 118.5 team total on Hard Rock at minus 105. Consensus odds are minus 116, making this a 5.15 EV out of 60 books available on this. So great spot on the Pistons over 118.5 team total to start us out. Point spread, nothing crazy. 2.58 is the biggest EV. So we're going to move on to MLB, see what we got over here. All right. On MLB, let's look at money line. 4.03 is the highest EV. Some people, depending on where you're at, you can take this because, it's somewhat solid, and 111 books built into this consensus. So, I mean, there's a lot of sample built into this 4.03, which isn't horrible. So you can take the Diamondbacks money line at minus 113 on Novig, but it's not over that. If you're really trying to stay dedicated on the rule book, you need to skip this one and keep looking for better options. The Pittsburgh Pirates plus 1.5 at minus 145 on Novig is a 4.32, so we're getting closer. 74 books built into that consensus, which is amazing. Team total. So team total is where you want to attack. The Tigers under 3.5 team total at minus 105 on Circa is a 7.01 expected value. Consensus odds are minus 121 across the industry on the under 3.5 team total out of 69 books baked in. So Tigers under 3.5 team total on Circa at minus 105 is a fantastic option at 7.01. Okay? And that's it there for baseball. Let's go check out hockey. And again, I'm just looking at the main markets. Now, are there some of the other markets that you could take advantage of? Absolutely. For example, Calgary Flames, first period money line three-way. Again, this is between my zone of plus 150 to minus 130. I'm getting this play at Calgary Flames, first period money line three-way at plus 150 odds on Bet365, where it's plus 129 everywhere else among 64 books. 8.96 EV, so amazing options. Now, let's look at the main markets. Puck line, 3.46, so not quite where I need it. Money line, not enough consensus books built into these right now, mainly because a lot of these showing at the top are for tomorrow's games. So nothing too crazy for today for NHL right there. For team total, you have one incredibly close at 4.82, over the 30 minimum. You could take this at plus 130 for Seattle's over 2.5 team total if you would like to. I'm not going to hate you for it. You could also take the one under it at 4.3 with 61 books built in at minus 120 on Hard Rock. And that's about it for hockey. Let's check college basketball because we got the final game tonight. What is the EV telling us to play tonight? It is the Florida Gators money line at minus 104 on Novig. Okay? That is where the best value is for tonight's game. Florida money line. Okay, it's got Florida winning the championship at minus 104 on Novig would be your best value. The consensus odds for Florida to get the win is at minus 115 across 92 sports books, whereas you're getting it at minus 104 on Novig. This is where the value is. This is the EV spot. This is where you want to take it the most, okay? Now, you have some other options on other books, but I want whatever's at the top at the highest EV, 5.16 Florida money line. As of right now, this is the best bet available right now. Now, lines are going to move. If you want to wait until right before the game starts so every bit of bets are in already and then you can kind of snipe out what's the best, you can. But this may get incredibly tight as the money comes in as well. The expected value might not be there as time goes on. You feel what I'm saying? So you can either wait it out or you can just take the plunge early and take Florida money line at minus 104. Because in full honesty, like, a lot of people have already bet on this game. So you really already have a lot into it. I mean, 92 books are built into the consensus of 5.16 on Novig. Again, don't take Florida money line at minus 120. Don't take Florida money line at minus 110. Why? Because that's not going to give you the 5.16 EV. The reason this is 5.16 EV is because of where you're getting it. All right? Thank y'all as always for joining me, man. Put your favorite two-man down in the comment section. And again, we're going to have another fantastic week following the PME rulebook and continue stacking up units for the squad, for the team, for the family. Thank y'all for joining me as always. And let's get it. Let's eat. I'm out.